Hey squad, how are you? It's Suzette Speaks here, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Suzette Speaks show. If you are brand new to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy to see so many new subscribers. Thank you so much for those who found me through TLA's show. Yesterday was a doozy, but I did enjoy myself, and it connected me with so many more new folks. So welcome. If you don't know what we do here on the Suzette Speaks show, well, I talk women's empowerment. I talk about issues and challenges that so many people face and we really don't ever talk about. So today is going to be one such topic. If you are brand new and you're watching, don't be afraid. Hit that like and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because it'll allow you to know when we come with new broadcasts. So before we get into today's topic, I have a special guest as well. She's waiting in the wings. I just wanted to let you know why I do what I do and what this channel is all about. Well, the Suzette Speaks show came from my desire as a woman who was just traversing life by herself in a way that left me feeling isolated at times, left me feeling as if, I was the only one going through what I was going through. And then I, here in South Florida, probably 3 years ago, started a women's meetup where I tried to connect with like-minded women, women who were progressive, women who were smart, loving, giving, caring, but just didn't have a good, solid foundation of like friendships. And I tell people all the time, as you get older, it's harder to make good quality friends. People are very strange as we get more mature. But that morphed into a monthly meetup where I connected with all kinds of women from different backgrounds here in South Florida. And it led me probably a few months later, probably 6 months later, to do my first women's conference. That was like 2018. I can't believe it. And it was a huge day at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Hollywood, Florida, down here in South Florida. And it led me to realize that there were a lot of conversations that women need to have that we sometimes don't get to have because we have to keep this mask on. We have to look perfect. We have to sound perfect. We have to pretend that, life is great. And I think what I love about what coming out of 2020 and some of the bright side, I guess, of COVID, some would say, we've had so much of the negativity. But one of the beautiful things that came out of COVID is that people did have to stop, listen, and just get inside themselves, listen to their heart, go inward and try to figure out what they were going to do next, who was important to them, how they were going to live their lives, and who do they want by their sides. We saw a lot of COVID divorce, unfortunately. We also saw people who were just realigning, people who spent time, in that quiet space where we unfortunately didn't get a lot of time before. I can speak for myself on the grind, hustling and bustling. And so with this quiet time comes, more time for reflection. And today, like I said, in these conversations, I want to, create a forum where women can express themselves, where we can explore more in-depth topics that we don't typically find in the public discourse, where people are more so, living through watching others instead of really in evaluation of themselves. So let's do some evaluating today. Today's topic, y'all. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Today's topic is called Don't Discount the Detours. Now, when I was talking with my special guest about this topic, there are so many things that came to mind, and both she and I had shared similar experiences. Can you imagine that we've had many doors that we thought were open and ready for us to come through, close? We've gotten that dreaded word no in all aspects of our life, whether it was through our family, whether it was through our job search, whether it was, whether it was a career path or personal path. That word no oftentimes has some real impact when we hear it. I know everybody's on the, get over it mindset, but it's not always easy to get over things that you really believe are yours and you really believe you're cut out for, and you really think, yo, this is my job, or this is my man, or this is my time. And then lo and behold, you don't get the call back, or folks are actually very much, going a different direction. They have that saying, I'm sorry, we went in a different direction. We went with another candidate. We went with, whatever situation it is. It happens to us. And to not be discouraged by it is something that is very, very difficult to do. Oftentimes when we hear that no, when we hear that it's not you, it was the next person's job or the next person's opportunity, or the collaboration is not going to work out, or they're not going to invest the way they said they were going to invest, or you could fill in the blank for your no. But I am certain there are many of us who have felt like we have the detours of life kind of throwing us off. I see you. If you're watching, go ahead and drop a comment. Thank you, Gaston's Word. Don't discount. Thank you. The detours. Let's get it. That's how I feel. I want to tell you a quick story about myself when I think about what detours or what appear to be detours are for my life. Sometime last year, like I said, when COVID, when people were just realigning, trying new things, new opportunities were coming and going. There was a consulting position that I thought was just me written all over it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, some kind of opportunity that you believe, you honestly think it's going to be yours. It's yours for the taking. There's nobody else more qualified. There's no one else with a better fit. And this was one of those positions for me. I looked at it. I work for myself. I have time to kind of juggle my schedule. And I was thinking about, I could put this on my plate, add this little income, be more, diverse in terms of my streams of income. Let's go. So I was talking to a gentleman who was, in charge of, or the director for this particular program. He was like, Sue, you are perfect for it. Actually, he solicited me. I didn't even know about the opportunity. So at first I was like, I don't need, anything else on my plate. Got the phone call from him, was really excited, read all about the position, the company. I was like, oh, yes, this is me. Come to find out, he's like, hurry up, send me your resume. Hurry up, send me all your info. I need you, in the pipeline. So I did that. We spoke. He's like, you might have to come in for an interview. Is it a problem? It's COVID. I was like, no, I'll come in for an interview. They weren't going to do like a panel interview, all this, formality for this type of position. Very important. Yes. Okay. Headhunted. You know what it is. You know what it is. I felt, very special. And again, sometimes these opportunities, I don't ever think I have had to, except for my very, very first job, look for a job. When I was working for others, I definitely got most opportunities through people, and this was one such opportunity. So long story short, he has me get the resume. I have not made a resume and I don't even know how long. He has me do all the paperwork, just send my reference list, all of this. I'm excited. Yes, this is going to be a good source of, a tertiary income for me. So long story short, he's like, this is a hurry up and wait situation, Sue. We were ready for you, but I have a budget crunch, or, COVID was happening. So people were being careful with how they were spending their dollars. So he's just like, just hold tight. It's going to happen. But right now we got to watch how we're spending. We got to get some more money in, cash flow. And then we'll call you. I'm sure of it. So waited every couple weeks, text and called, waited every couple weeks. Hey, just, is there any movement? Do you guys know when you're bringing somebody on? Do you guys know what time it is? Or what the time frame will be in terms of when you're ready to hire? No, we're good. Thank you for checking in. Nah, sis, we're working on it. I'll let you know. Thank you. Holding pattern, holding tight, all that stuff. Little before the end of the year, I am ready, and I'm just thinking, oh man, this is taking like a couple months. But corporate jobs sometimes are like that. They're like a hurry up and wait scenario. So I texted this gentleman. And I remember on that day, he didn't text back immediately. Usually I get a text back right away. And I look for the text. I'm like, okay, it's evening. Next day comes. I'm like, I'm not going to worry him. I'm just going to, people get busy. You don't want to read too much into things and feel as if you're, devastated by not getting an immediate response. Things happen. So the next day comes around and I'm like, okay, should I call? Should I Yeah, you hate the hurry up and wait. Trust me, Gaston, thank you. And so I was like, going to call, and I was like, you know what? Let me just check the website. Maybe there's something going on with the company. Maybe they've changed their organization chart, or maybe they don't want this position anymore. Maybe they have given it, how they give people 2 jobs. Someone who's already working another part, another job description added on to their job. So I was like, all right, don't sweat it. Let's go on the website. Would y'all believe that I went on the website and guess what? Somebody was listed next to that job. A new hire had been made. And I was like, so devastated. And I was like, wait a minute. You called me trying to get me to come. You made me, feel as if I was going to be an excellent fit for what was going to happen, or your needs, I should say, in terms of the job search, or you wanting someone, I guess, that you could trust or that you knew. Yes, this emoji is exactly how I felt. I was like, heck nah, this man that tried me in a way that, wasn't personal. I was mad for like 5 minutes, y'all. I wasn't really mad. But he didn't even say anything. That is my point. That is my point. He didn't even say anything. Now, if you and me are cool, now I didn't know him like friends. I wouldn't call us friends. I would call us colleagues. Ran in the same circles, that kind of thing. Knew each other through mutual acquaintances. But my thing is, if you knew you didn't have no job for me, why you just didn't text back? Sorry, sis. We went in a different direction. Sorry, sis. This wasn't my, the outcome I wanted, but my boss, or he had a couple people above him, made this decision, or the board decided for whatever fiscal reasons or whatever. I feel good afternoon. Welcome, Sandy. See y'all watching. Y'all go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. So long story short, I was, again, not, thank God, how I would have been, when I was younger, totally devastated, because those no's hurt when you're young. When you're young and you don't have the life experience, you feel like I was supposed to get this job, or I was supposed to get, even in TV and journalism, for me, the no's can be like, wow, it is so devastating. So I didn't call this gentleman. I hadn't heard from him since. No, what's up? No, hello. Sorry, sis, didn't get back to you. I haven't heard nothing since. And I just thought to myself, why would somebody do that? And of course, there are so many things that you think you've done wrong. Did I put something on the resume I shouldn't have? Should I not be posting on my social media as much as I post? Or, did his boss, think something? You start to doubt your own abilities, yourself, and why you may not have been chosen. But the truth is, it may not really have anything to do with you. And I thought to myself, and I consulted a couple of guys, because I like to get my friends' opinions when I think I'm maybe looking at it one way, but there are other perspectives, from other business people. So I said, why y'all think this man didn't call me? Didn't tell me nothing. Didn't actually, give me a reason. And they were like, well, maybe he doesn't have as much pull in the organization as he presents. Another guy friend of mine was like, maybe he, thought telling you would be a liability, or, you would ask too many questions. And another said to me, hey, Atlanta in the building. Another said to me, maybe he's just one of those people that are not good with giving bad news. Are you one of those people? Please let me know. There are people that are just averse to having the difficult conversations. Not everybody likes to have the difficult conversations. So another friend just said, maybe he's one of those people who don't like to hurt people's feelings, and didn't want to disappoint you after he had builded you up. So I don't really know what happened, y'all. I don't really know what happened. So in my growing, in my, business experience, in my career, and in just life, personal and otherwise, there's always going to feel like these detours, or these slowdowns, or these didn't gets that, you feel will have a lasting impact on you. Do you ever feel like that? Do y'all ever feel like you got this big no from, an opportunity, or it could be a relationship, or wherever, that you felt like would change for the bad, your trajectory, would slow you down, would prevent your progress, or in some other way, handicap your becoming, that professional, or the person that you want to be or grow to be? It helps when you have life experience to let you know that not every so-called failure, so-called no, so-called detour is actually something negative. But in that moment, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, in that moment, you feel some type of way. In that moment, you feel the devastation. In that moment, you feel the disappointment. In that moment, you feel, what's wrong with me, Lord? I prayed about this, though. I gave it to God. And that door is closed. So has that ever happened to you? For me, I have had many experiences where what I thought was going to be the next best step, or the game-changing opportunity, just turned out to be, fizzle out, and no more. Went to somebody else. Had to wait forever only to find out it went to somebody else like I did. And it can get it can wear you down. And it takes a lot to dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and say, you know what, I'm going to go back at it. Let me see what my chat has to say. Welcome. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. I have a special guest lined up. She's waiting in the wings. I'm about to bring her on. But I want to let you know, it happens to all of us. People will see you, you look nice and shiny, like nothing ever happens to you. Please believe everyone on this earth has had an experience with a detour, if we want to call it that. Has had, the setback, the challenge, the unexpected change of plans that leaves you feeling like, wait a minute, where's my faith? And can you go through that? I've heard people who I've had, served as clients 10 and 12 and 15 times in situations that I'm like, golly, would I have the resilience and the fortitude like them to try again? It's something to be said about that season of no, that season of, get it together, but this ain't the way. That job you knew was going to be your job, and it doesn't materialize. It's a real thing, guys. And it happens more often than not because we get how many no's for how many yeses. You got to live through the no's to get to that one yes. But it can really, really bring down your spirit, and it can really make you feel like something is wrong with you. So yeah, I got ghosted. Yes, Gaston's word. For y'all who missed the story, I had a job opportunity last year, a consultancy that I was going to take on, was contacted by somebody. They reached out to me, thought I was a great fit, didn't even have no resume, had to put one together, put it together, send it. And eventually, without even telling me, the job went to somebody else. And I felt some type of way, even though I had my own other things. Thank God I had my own other things going on. But in my heart, I was like, what did I do to deserve that? That wasn't like how it was supposed to end. Even if you couldn't get me in or you changed your mind. I thought professionalism would demand a phone call, a text message, a hey, hello, my sister, I'm so sorry. But, things change. But in reality, people don't do you like that. In reality, not everybody has the same sense or level of professionalism. I've learned stop expecting too much from people a long time ago. What I would do, I'm not expecting everyone else to do. I realized that. I was like, okay, you're going to be very disappointed. You keep expecting people to give and to be and to treat you like, you would want to be treated. It's not always well. So we got a special guest. She's waiting in the wings. Miss Trishforreal. I'm going to read a couple of your comments and I'm going to bring her on. She has a couple of good stories to tell. Y'all better hit that like button. What's up? Welcome to my brand new subscribers. Those who found me through TLA yesterday. I am so excited that you're here. Thank you for the sub. I hope to provide great content for you. Again, we talk mostly women's issues, women's challenges, excuse me. And we try to have fun with it. I bring on guests. They share their truth. We discuss, we have open conversations, and it's not like fluff. We want to really get to the heart of the matter. So let's see what y'all have to say. Welcome, welcome. This is the Suzette Speaks Show. This is Don't Discount the Detours, a conversation with poet and author Miss Trishforreal. Y'all ready to meet her? I hope so. She's coming along here. Sandy W says, that is the hardest lesson professionally is to not take things too personally. Yeah, I would even say I would buy him a drink. I would see him in a bar and buy him a drink. I mean, there are people that say, would you say hello? Absolutely. People do you dirty. Would you still say hello, guys? I've seen a message on, I think it was Instagram, of a lady who lost a job or was fired. And she saw her boss in the mall. And the boss did not even remember who she was, like months later. And she was like, I could have been holding on to this grudge. I could have been holding on to this sense of powerlessness or resentment or anger. And she said hello to the lady, and the lady was looking at her like, who are you? And the lady fired her, several months back. So it happens to us. Some of us carry, and I think some of us have different levels of emotional, tolerance, different thresholds for pain and for disappointment. Everybody's different. So just because I've grown into a person where I'm kind of like, yeah, that was shitty, but life goes on. Thankfully, I didn't need that position to pay my bills like right away. Still was kind of janky, but let's see what you got to say. Gaston's World. Sandy with, yeah, it was rough working in corporate. Yeah, corporate is a whole different ball game, y'all. Definitely that was a constant struggle I had at Wells Fargo. It was mentally and emotionally draining. Trust and believe when you're in that corporate realm, there's so much politics you have to deal with. And the no's and the look out for me and I will be promoted, but nope, someone else got the promotion. Oops, detour. When all these things happen to you, sometimes we don't have any place to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today because you're not the only one. Everyone has had this experience in one way or another to different degrees. Gaston's World says it's even more challenging when you see yourself walking in that position just for them to move in a different direction. Actually, and I don't know if men do it. I'd love to hear your opinion, but I know women, we're planners. You planning 10 years down the road already with the position. You already thinking about what you're going to be, how you're going to make the company better, how you're going to do what you came here to do, the impacts you're going to have, the people you would hire. I already started thinking about that because I can't help it because I'm a planner. And then it just, the rug gets pulled right from underneath you. What do? Hey, Steel Curtain, welcome. A new sub. Thank you. Very excited to have you. I know you probably were one of the people that watched TLA yesterday. Thank you for the sub and for being here. What's up, Louise Bedford? Appreciate you joining. Welcome. We're going to have a great roundtable. One of my faithful originals. Hey, Queen of the South. Great topic. Thank you, ma'am. We are here to explore the detours of life, what to do when you keep hearing the no's, you feel disappointed, and you feel like a failure. This is a real thing that many people in different seasons of their life have to contend with. So we're going to talk to an author and a poet. She's coming up right away, y'all. Gaston's World says, hit the like button. What's up? Yes, please do. Hit the like button. Thank you for looking out. I am not going to delay. She is waiting in the wings. Queen of the South says, I've had that happen with the job at the Federal Reserve once. I came down to the last 2 applicants, but they didn't take me. It happens. I knew that was my girl. I know the feeling. When you planning already, you already picture yourself. You know how they say manifest and visualize? Picture yourself at that desk. Picture yourself when you're going into that office. Girl, I knew what suit I was going to wear the first day. I was ready. I was like, oh, don't give me a corner office because it's on. I was already putting myself in that position, and we tend to do that as human beings. We look at the possibilities. We're open to what may happen. And then when it doesn't, what do you do with all that emotion, all that anxiety, all that anticipation? Because the mind is so powerful. It's treating it as if it's already happening, and it hasn't. So have you ever had a bird in the hand that really flew back out your hand? Yes. That was a bit tacky. Thank you, Steel Curtain, especially for a corporation. I agree. I was like, what kind of, maybe God kept me from more of that type of behavior? Absolutely. Louise Bedford says, maybe he was embarrassed because he had built you up. He thought you were a shoo-in, but he was not the one to make the final decision. That's what I kind of think. I'm like, sometimes people look like they're in positions of power and influence, but a lot of us can't make the hire and fire decisions. Some in those really high, I'm talking about like C-suite executives. Some people there as a placeholder, they're not actually, looked at as the person who can be the decision maker, or they're just kind of like the face. The diversity sometimes stops at, thank you for being here, but we don't really want to bring in more people of color, that kind of thing. I was thinking about that too. Great point. Hey, greetings, Queen of the South. It hurts because they don't, it hurts because don't you be spending that money before you get it. That's true. Planning on what you're going to do. Don't we do that? Well, if I get this job, I'm going to get me a car. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I've done it. I'm not going to lie. Especially when I was younger, I've always been, just planning. Okay, I can save up this amount and I can do this. I can invest that. It's just a part of being a human being, especially if you're a planner. Hey, K-Love, welcome to the chat, y'all. Thank you for all the love in the chat. Queen of the South, talking about facts and the benefit. You already started thinking about the doctor visits. You think about going to the dentist. You haven't been to the dentist in a while. Well, I keep my dentist regular, but all those things, yeah, you got to never, I agree, the Steel Curtain. I never take it personally, but I think that's a muscle, particularly as you mature. You get more just confident that, okay, this so-called mistake, this so-called failure, this I didn't get it, is not a reflection of you. So many people attach it to your own value. So we're going to talk about that today. I love it. Nan Bridge Burt. I'm good with that. Yes, buy a drink if you see him. Say, well, hello if you see him. Still Curtis says, yep, keep it moving. Queen of the South says, if your boss who fired you don't remember you, what you did or didn't do was not that bad. And that job was not worth keeping. Hello, somebody. Some of us need to get a little wake up call with that. Ugh. I was going to get a company car. Yes. That feeling. Yes, I felt that way because I feel like that sometimes Louise says that might not be the job for me. Absolutely. Well, guys, without further ado, I appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. We talking about corporate politics a little bit, but we mostly talking about any circumstance where you have felt like you have been detoured. Your life has not taken the path that you had really prayed for, anticipated, planned, as we talk about, for, and it just didn't show up. It didn't come to you. Did you get it wrong? Did you look at something that was not yours anyway? Should you have applied, Queen of the South? Appreciate, yes, found you as one of the earlier TLAs. I appreciate y'all. Y'all welcome. All of my new subscribers. Thank you for being here. I was feeling some kind of way yesterday. I was like, leave her alone. Y'all, I might have to do a little reaction video to that. So y'all, let me bring my guest on. What's up? The detours in life are like markers on a journey across the country. Ooh, deep, the steel curtain. It's a part of the process to reach the destination. Don't be stealing my fire now. Don't steal it. Don't steal it. Okay, y'all want to talk. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. For those watching on Facebook, welcome. For those watching on YouTube, welcome. I see you, Trishana. I hear you. Hey, yay, Trishforreal is the truth. Y'all want to meet her? I want you to meet her. So we go way back. We used to work at same law firm, funny enough. She has turned her hand in the last few months and produced a new book of poetry. She's an author. She's just a dynamic woman. She has a very bright spirit. Y'all know I'm very careful with who I invite to come up here and, share with you. So without further ado, I need to bring her in this conversation. Y'all welcome the one, the only author and speaker, entrepreneur, poet. I'm going to keep going, but she's going to tell you more about herself. Y'all welcome up Miss Trish for real.
Hello, YouTube world.
Hi, welcome. You look so cute. I know you was looking good on the flyer, but you look even better. Thank y'all. Y'all welcome her. Drop a comment. I see you got some fans checking in. We got people watching. Whether you're watching live or watch the replay, let us know where you're watching from. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. This is the Suzette Speaks Show. My special guest, Miss Trishforreal, is with us and has joined us from a cute studio. Introduce yourself, my love. Welcome. Good to have you.
Hello, YouTube world. I'm Trishforreal. Thanks for having me. I really don't like to talk too much about myself. I like to stick with a topic. So as Suzette says, I am a poet, an entrepreneur. I believe that my mission in life is to inspire. So with all that said, let's get into it.
All right, let's get. She want to get the word. I know we talked about this, and she was very open with me, and I asked her to keep a few of her examples just private until we talk. I like when it comes out like for real, so I can ask questions and I can kind of get into your headspace and what your experience was like more from like an organic perspective. So we talked a little bit, but we didn't want to get I say leave it for YouTube, leave it because when we talk here, it's real. So Trish, you have spoken about, this whole topic. Actually, you came up with this topic when I said, what do you want to talk about? And so I want to know why you chose the topic. What was on your heart when you chose the topic? I know it's very timely. Like I said, there are people watching who have experienced this. There are people watching who are currently in a season of no, and, whether it's job search or relationship or you name it. Why was this topic something that spoke to you?
When we decided to put this show together, I thought about what I wanted to talk about, and I came up with several topics. But this particular one, with being detoured with life circumstances, it spoke to me. And the reason it did is because I looked back over my life when I became 40, and I saw a, what would I call that? A thread of circumstances or situations, life experiences, if you will, that derailed me. And I said, okay, I needed to unpack this. I needed to unpack this. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good?
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I needed to unpack these thread of events that have stalled me, if you will, and see the root causes. So if you wanted me to go over just a progression of events.
We can talk about it, because I appreciate you being open and
Yeah.
transparent. The chat is ready. They saying they ready to take notes. Queen of the
Okay.
South. I love books. I'm gonna drop her book. When is the book coming out? Tell us
On
the
the
name of the book and when
31st.
it's coming out. Yeah,
Yes.
tell us the name of it.
Okay. The name of the book is Pen, a Provocative Poetic Journey. It's a collection of poems I've written over a number of years.
So proud of
And
you.
yeah, thank
And we'll
you.
have the link up. Y'all support good books, good poetry. Gaston's World said Black women be doing all the things. Oh yes, claps, 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 claps. Thanks, Sandy W. The Beyond Woman TV is here. She says,
Yes,
awesome,
yes.
the real deal at Trishforreal. Ah, nice smile and inviting presence. Okay, all right, we getting all kinds of feedback. We appreciate it. Thank you, the Steel Curtain. And drop the locations. He's saying, Gaston's World says, I am in Wakanda. What's up at ATL in the building, Minneapolis? Thank you, the Steel Curtain, Minneapolis, Orlando in the building. Y'all, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. So we're going to get into the meat of it. We're going to talk about her experiences. Trish, let's start from the beginning. Where do you think, or can you give us an example of where you felt life threw you a detour and how you handled it?
Okay, so I'll begin with this one particular life experience. I'm sorry. Imagine finishing college, your undergrad degree, trying to move on to higher education, and I set out to apply for schools and was rejected by almost all. Now,
For a
because
for a master's program?
The ones that I want, yes, that I wanted to go into.
Who?
So lo and behold,
y'all know. Go ahead.
Yeah, lo and behold, the schools I wanted to advance to, they told me my undergrad degree was pretty much worthless. So that stalled me for a bit, and I was so disillusioned. I've always been a high achiever. I've always been an A student, some B's, and only to have that dream dash for a little while, and it stalled my momentum. And what I think it did, it detoured me in a way where I accepted less. When I was always a person who knew what I wanted, a person who wanted more, it put me on a trajectory to accepting less. And that even translated in relationship choices too. That one are those rejections, if you will, being told, all right, when I was always told yes. So that's one particular example. So the beauty of it is it stalled me for a couple of years. And then I just realigned to my passion and my purpose. And then I said, all right, I know if that particular degree was worthless, I'll just do another one. And that shifted gears for my life, made me realize that it's not where you start, but actually where you're going. It stalled me, but there was so much beauty that came out of it. I went on a journey of self-discovery.
Okay. I love it. And I'm gonna read a couple of chat comments. I see you, Trishan Alexander, throwing the flames up. What's up? Welcome. I see Queen of the South saying yes, beauty and realignment. realign. Yes, she says, I'm making a career change now. And one of the points that you just made that I want y'all to hear in your hearts, and I'm going to read the still curtain, sounds like it was a blow to the old ego. This is real. This happens to us, especially us high achievers. Oh my! When you're used to getting yes, and everything is easy, not easy because you're working for it, but it just comes one after the other. Next step, got it. Next step, got it. Next step, got it. And I have even had to say in my life, when I had first encountered that detour or that challenge, I was like, what are you feeling here? I had to do some self evaluation because I was like, wait, you're not used to the no. You always got the yes, and you feel like something is wrong with them because you're just not used to it. I have always, in most scenarios, obviously, gotten what I thought I was ready for and what I wanted. And when you hit that first proverbial wall, it always feels like you're saying, the still curtain, the ego is tested, and you feel away. You feel like, whoa, I'm like the it person. I've gotten the padding on the backs, paddings on the back, the pats on the back, and all of that just kind of feels like. And I also would add that in my family we are very encouraging, so I've always been encouraged and always kind of gotten that affirmation. And when you in the world and you're not getting it, you're like, whoa, something's wrong with me. My boss is not telling me I'm great. My boss is not telling me, like, you want to give me the raise or whatever. And you got to fight. That's what capitalism is. You got to fight. And oftentimes it's not pretty. And these so-called detours do come. So y'all drop some comments. Can you take, she says, it can take you back and force you to, he says, excuse me, to force you to retool and regroup. Thank you. The Beyond Woman TV says, true point at the steel curtain. And I also want to point out something that you said, and I want, not to like kind of gloss over it. When we enter these seasons, when we get that rejection and that no, oftentimes, if we're not careful, that feeling of being less than or unworthy, where we really aren't, can trickle over into other parts of your life. And you got to go back. I'm not, y'all like to call me the street psychologist, but y'all got to go back to who told you, or what experience had you first feel like you wasn't worthy, particularly if you're not making healthy decisions in other areas, other realms of your life. So sometimes it's not just about, what happened to you in terms of dating, but how you feel in terms of rejection, saying we've been talking about like job opportunities, but it can be in any realm, rejection by a parent, rejection and a stumbling block in terms of, starting a job that is toxic or something that you do get. We got to remember, sometimes we get what we wish for and we're like, wait a minute, I know I prayed before I applied to this here, and now it's like, making me miserable. So those things that cause you to question your decision making or doubt your decision making, we need to actually revisit and just deal with them in a place outside of ego. The steel curtain adds, we've all been there. I come from a military family where we were broken down. Oh Lord, well you don't, the Jamaicans do that for you. The Caribbean people do that for you too. They have I think it's like they pull you back, or they say negative things, and then it's supposed to like be reverse psychology, so you actually go do better. Trust and believe. We know it. The process sucked, but it did wonders for me in the real world, which was easy comparatively. Oh my. So that is giving a very good perspective, parentally speaking, parental approach that was different from, some that we're seeing now, which is all praise. I feel sorry for some of the people who like I said, we got broken down and built back up. But oftentimes all the praise is not going to cut it, because you're not going to experience that when you get to the real world. So tell us about another instance where you felt. So did you end up going? We got to figure out first what happened. No, I see you, the still curtain. He says, to be clear, I wasn't in the military, but my father and uncles and cousins were. I got you. So the military came to you, so to speak. So did you end up going back to school? What was your outcome, and how did you realign or retool?
Yeah, I set myself on a path to fulfill my original goal. So I did go back to school. I'm not into naming colleges. I'm not that type of person. So I went back to school, got my master's degree in some done some graduate studies. But in the end, I see why my life got rerouted that way because of the people I met, the other opportunities that came my way. People I met on the journey are people that are still in my life, people who've walked with me through some seasons of my life. They're still here. Had I not gone that route, I would have never met them. So the beauty about it is the detour led to great relationships.
Absolutely. I love it. Y'all drop a like, drop a flame, drop a comment. We just going over some life decisions, life happenings, life challenges. Oftentimes, we don't have the playbook of life. There is no direct guide for how to do it. Y'all might call the Bible one, but I'm meaning in terms of, sometimes that real life application happens and we are kind of holding on to it in silence. And no one really knows, did I make the right decision? How did I approach this? And we're talking about it today so that you can feel, some solidarity. You're not alone. Most people have these challenges one way or another, some season or another in your life. And the detours are real, but they can feel lasting. They can feel permanent, and they can feel as if, you somehow are unworthy. So we want to unpack that, and we want to make sure we're separating you, the person, from what happened. Again, with high achieving people, we tend to take blame for what happened. That's not always true. In the scenario I gave y'all at the very open, I had to realize, thank goodness, this was out of my control. Yes, I was picturing myself already in the company car and all that. Y'all know what time it is, but it wasn't meant for me. And I really feel like a lot of my detours, and I'll share a couple, the blessing was not getting it. Oftentimes we feel like, oh, what did we miss out? The FOMO, fear of missing out. But oftentimes you don't know what you're being protected from. Hello, somebody. So we have to really assess how we view ourselves relating to quote unquote detours in life, and whether you are processing it by saying something you did was wrong, or something about you was wrong, or you weren't ready for. It ain't got nothing to do with you, baby, in most situations. So we have to separate that ego. We have to separate our value from not getting a particular opportunity. Still curtain in the building. Facts, what you got? Hey, oh my gosh, one of my best guests so far. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Honorable Kathy Remy. Detours are definitely real, and at times define us when it doesn't have to. Oh, woman of God.
Yes.
Y'all, if y'all missed the show with Kathy Remy, y'all get a little bit of it, please, and thank you. This is a word. This is a word. Detours are definitely real, and at times define us when it doesn't have to. Let me put something in my spirit. Let me just give you something in my spirit. I met a young lady at one of my meetups. I talked about putting together meetups down here prior to COVID. And I remember, and she and I are still friends, talk about detours allowing you to meet people. And I remember when she came to my meetup, the first thing she said, and I had two people in my life that said this, and I corrected both of them. Their first introduction was always, I'm a single mom, I was a teen mom, and now, honey, you in a room full of professional women. Nobody knows you, and nobody knows your story. You're successful in the area that you're in now. But the first thing you identify with is I'm a single mom or I'm a teen mom, and you in your 30s. It hurt my heart that for so many of us, somebody talk to me here, for so many of us, particularly in the Black community, when we see things occur as teenage pregnancy or very young adult pregnancy, it has grown to define us. It has grown to be a stain or some kind of scarlet letter or a mark for us. Even when we grown, we carrying it and we don't have to. And I saw my sister and I pull her aside. I said, don't you ever come in a professional meeting and start no sentence with, hi, my name is so-and-so and I'm a teen mom. Boo, you 30-some years old. You successful in real estate. You successful in filling the business. But the mental we carry, the identity that we got from that detour has stuck to us. And it can be unpredictable, unnecessary, and an unforgiving burden that's not yours. Shouldn't be yours to carry, love. But the detour sometimes does become that scarlet letter. And we in the community often reinforce it. Oh, don't step on no toes, Sue. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you carrying your detour as a badge, if you carrying your detour as some kind of sign of failure, 10, 20, 30 years later, lift it. Drop it off. Stop. You got to go back to what you think of you and who told you that. And it's going to be a limitation until we kind of get away from that defines me. The detour should not define you. Thank you, Sister Remy, for waking that up in my spirit. I hear you. Okay, I'm going to stop. Grandma of 11 says, welcome. Okay, yes, the thing with detours is if not accepted as the correct path to take, they will reoccur later in our journeys. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all still repeating y'all said, okay, all right, I'm gonna leave. Help us, Lord. Okay, Shoshana in the building, girl. I get on my soapbox. Sometimes I feel it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let my speaker get into her next example. Sandy W says, I was used to working in large companies at the point where I was making the most money. My father was dying and I had to give it up. Give it up. Home, I guess, maybe give it up, and become a third degree to care for him. So give up her home, maybe give up the job and to care. It was hard. Whoa, boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Family obligation. That's real. And it can feel like a detour. I had my good job, my good money, but dad or mom or whoever needed me. Interesting. I'd like to hear more about that, Sandy, and how you view it now. Queen of the South says, yes, Trishana. Yes. Let me see. Thank you again. If you missed my episode, she have a new book too. Y'all talking about it's the healing for me. Please see my show with Prophetess Kathy Remedy. Thank you. She know what time it is. We not stirring it up. I see you in the chat. Thank you, Queen of the South. I'm not wearing a scarlet letter in 2021. It's 19. It ain't 1865. Hello, somebody. But we hold them, ladies, indirectly, unconsciously. We acting as if we still that teen mom. We moving like it. We don't think we deserve more. All right, Sandy said, but after 2 years, I had more skills and changed my life for the better. With stress, it doesn't happen easily, and faith. My life is so much more focused on myself now. So in that season, I think, especially when it comes to parental care, you got to do what you got to do. We on the fast track. We on these, C-suite tracks. But the love of a parent, the love of family, life is about people, the people we love. So I hear you, sis. Grandma of 11, it should be used as a teaching tool. I hear you, Grandma. Louise adds, I salute you, my sister, because that look took a lot of courage and fortitude. Thank you. Yes. All the time. And for my speaker, I think she might be referring to you, my dear. The silk curtain. Let the past be an informative guide, not a burden to carry. Learn from it and move forward. But you'll be surprised. I agree with you. But you'll be surprised how many people hold it as their label. Like as if people walk up to you and see teen mom at 16. It's like really, really bothersome that people, and that's one I'm just using because it was in my spirit, but it could be any label, guys. I didn't get this job. I didn't get that opportunity. This guy didn't marry me. We could put it in context, but it often is walking with us, the so-called detour, and not seen for maybe the benefit it could have been if we looked at it from a different perspective. All right, Sandy, that's a real story. So many of us have them with family responsibility. Oh, that'll be a major detour, y'all. Family going and your parents getting older, it happens. Grandma of 11, mine was health. It happened in 2003 and again in 2014. Thank you for sharing that. Detours of health are real. Wake up fine and then wake up with a diagnosis. Oh my goodness. Life changes. I'm talking about like that. Thank you for sharing that, Grandma of 11. Sandy W, yeah, I learned to always learn new skills. Very good lesson. And to stay ready. Life is always going to change. Life is always going to change. That's the only thing that we can be certain of. Welcome, y'all. I see so many of y'all watching. This is a real conversation happening with the one and only author and poet of the new poetry collection, the book coming out on Amazon very soon. I'm here with Miss Trishforreal. She's talking about Don't Discount the Detours. She is sharing some very personal stories. I'm grateful for her transparency. She is, in a full disclosure, my homegirl. She's come to my event before. I'm like, I don't know you. I know her. She's a good, just aspiring person. I've seen change in her. I have seen her desire for growth. So when we talked about Don't Discount the Detours, what else came to mind for you, Miss Trishforreal? What other examples can you give us?
Another real life example I don't mind sharing is years ago when I got laid off from a job. I wasn't hurt by the layoff or had feelings of disappointment or inferiority. I was praying. I was on a job where I became so burnt out. I was very unhappy, and in seeking answers for my life from God about how to navigate the rest of my life and how to move on, I was more praying to be aligned with my gifts and talents. The job quickly felt like it was like I was at a dead end, if you will. And I prayed. So out of my prayer, my earnest prayer, God answered me with a layoff that detoured me some, but it brought me to where I am now. I had goals and I had some dreams that I've written down, and those were relegated to the back burner. Being on the job, being so tired, sometimes I would leave the job at 7, um, risking burnout. And then I just prayed for God to align me. So that detour from being laid off led me to starting my own business, to fulfilling some dreams I had written down, but just didn't have the time or the stamina to accomplish. So that layoff, it has brought me here, wanting more for myself, more out of life, not just being behind a cubicle or being on a cubicle farm, but aspiring to be more, but more so lending myself to my gifts and my talents.
I love it. The chat is lighting up. Y'all welcome. For you that are just joining, Suzette Speaks Show here. Special guest today is Miss Trishforreal. She is an author and a poet. She's a brand new book coming out on Amazon. She's a deep sister. She is allowing us to use, some of her life experiences as a discussion forum. For the topic today, which is Don't Discount the Detours. If you've ever felt like you have been detoured or you're currently experiencing it, or if you haven't, don't worry, keep living, as my grandma would say. You will have that experience. It's a universal experience. And no matter where you are, we just want to remind you that it's not the end. It's not always, defining, and it's definitely not supposed to define you beyond, a certain amount of time or indefinitely. Many of us think of these things of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and sometimes we have never left them. You ever met older people who still talking about what happened and what could have been? I really think, we have to come to a place of acceptance and learn how to process these and not be, in a very, taking it personal type space, and open our minds to, wow, this actually could have been a benefit. So she just shared an interesting story about the layoff. Anybody can relate? Anybody ever got the walking papers and then thank Jesus for the walking papers? Anybody looked at that door and was like, you know what? I'm packing up, with a sense of, pride and happiness and joy and relief from leaving y'all job? Because so many of us, and we can talk about the great resignation. I think most of America is woken up to this. A lot of America said, you know what, after this pandemic,
Yeah.
and the realization of what we're being paid, what we're faced with, lack of benefits, lack of time off, long working hours, people are saying, I'm talking about the millions, by the millions, saying, no, 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 I'm gonna wait for a better opportunity. I'm gonna stay home and be safe with my kids and do what I need to do. And I want to work from home, or I want to be more focused on my projects. And I can relate to that so much, where the job is sucking out your energy. Where you work is no longer a joy. Where you work, now we gotta work, now we got bills. But I'm talking about to the point where your health can be affected, your mental health, your physical health. The pain of what y'all ever got up and went through the door. I have sat in my car and not had to go to, didn't want to get up and go in the door. I did it. I don't know if somebody know what I'm talking about when it comes to those places that are like oppressively toxic. And you wonder, oh my gosh, Lord, I need this. I need to pay my bills. I need to do what I need to do and be, adulting. But they can often be the very detour. Oh boy. So the layoff or the firing, some people want to say, depending on how it happens, you might as well thank God for that, because it freed her up, frees you up for time to think about and focus on and work on what you truly want anyway. Y'all let them people job still in time, Googling what you want to Google, looking up what you want to look up anyway, trying to figure out how to leave a job anyway, instead of them paying you to do your job search. I'm not mad, guys. I've been there. I'm not mad. Because it's real. And it can feel like defeat, though, when that manager walks over to your desk and walks you out or what. Oh, why people get such a kick out of that? I don't know. It is so dehumanizing. Why you made me come in Monday if you know you're going to fire me on Tuesday? I've seen it all, especially in law firms. I'm like, what the heck? Y'all made that person come in on a Friday. Y'all was going to fire them. Y'all just told them not to come. Like, corporate can be, depending on the management, can be either a joy or such a burden. And sometimes that very job, oh my gosh, you are working this great. So many people think that other people have great jobs, and those jobs are killing them. Like, I think, again, the Great Awakening due to COVID-19 and the Great Resignation that we've seen across this country is evidence that folks are no longer willing just to lose themselves in some of these workplaces and how they treat you. The Steel Curtain jumps in, says, it takes maturity for one to take such an introspective look at oneself to bring about the change necessary for personal growth. Fantastic topic of discussion, which will no doubt help me. Hey, we try. Thank you. Appreciate you. You've been a part of that discussion. Thank you, The Steel Curtain. Grandma of 11 says, yes, when you talk to God, he will make the changes such that I thought the devil was at work. Oh, yeah. Sis, won't you be confused? Won't you look up and say, wait, is this God? The devil working hard is what we think when we see those people at your job. You ever had those people? Have you ever had a situation where your boss or your supervisor changed and it went from like the best job ever to like the worst job experience? I have met so many people, and even in my own personal experience, where they were flowing. They had good, high paying, nice jobs, and a change of management. Oh boy. Mess up your cash flow and mess up your peace. Make you wonder, wait a minute. Thank you, Grandma. But no, it was definitely the firing guys or the layoff guys can be a benefit. Working for your good. Working for your expected end. It indeed is a part of the plan. I know at the time it doesn't feel like it. At the time you feel worthless, some of us. At the time, we feel like, now what are we going to do? We need a job. What's going to happen? We panic. We gain anxiety. It's natural. But it absolutely is divinely ordained oftentimes, but we cannot see it in the moment. I should have edited that. No, I hear you, baby. That's okay. We know what you're saying. Larry Walker joins the chat. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Thank you for that. Y'all, I'm experiencing just so many thoughts going through my mind in this topic, because I've seen it now. Maybe things I didn't even consider a detour before. I'm looking now at, whoa, that could have really ruined how I think about life, how I think about myself, what I expect of myself, my feeling of worth and value. And sometimes, again, we got to take a step back and just make sure some of the things that we've experienced are not defining, are not unnecessarily being carried as a burden, and are not in an unhealthy way seeping into other parts of our lives. We got y'all following. I hope we following. Trish, go ahead. Let me know what else happened. Tell me about the pain of rejection. Hmm.
Okay, so I could share with you this other particular instant, and I said this to you at your last meetup on the beach,
Yeah.
Suzette.
Yeah.
Maybe not in a lot of words. So I I made this product that I felt very strongly about. I saw it work for me. When I shared it with my family and friends, they liked it too. So it was my uncle who suggested that I put out the product, like it's a hair growth oil. So I thought about it for a while. I'm a person who I like to plan stuff, and I like to research. So I researched all I needed to make this a possibility, and I decided to go forward. So as I was going forward, there were many detours. Shoshana is online on in the chat. I shared the detours with her every step of the way. I lost money. There were tears that I shed. I felt disappointed because I felt strongly about it and I wanted to see it come to fruition. However, the detours. I have thousands of labels I can't use through trial and error. And so the beauty of this detour, so I'll tell you this story without saying any names. I consulted with someone. I wanted to talk to her because she was successful in launching a beauty line. So someone actually introduced me to her and we met up. I was very excited to meet her. I just wanted, just for her to not necessarily coach me, but just to tell me some pitfalls that I may encounter and guide me in the right direction. The look I was given, and what she said, which I don't need to repeat, I left there. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't hurt. I said to myself, I'm a person who prays. And I said, God, I meant well when I came to this meeting. You know what was said. You know how I feel, but I'm just going to brush it off right now because I'm not going to allow the spirit of offense to linger over me, over my spirit. So I will be derailed. I said, God, I know that all things is possible to you. And I know that I'm the type of person, if I set out to do something, I'm going to do it. So lo and behold, what I went to speak to her about, she told me that it wasn't possible. And as Trishana, who's in the chat, can attest to, I saw God do a work with that product where I actually didn't need to lend focus to online sales because it was picked up by about 10 beauty supplies. And I did that through resilience. I'm not saying I didn't get help from one particular person, but I did that through resilience. But when I look over the situation, and I was telling two friends about it at a time when it happened, I said, all right, God, maybe someone burnt her in the past. Maybe she gave information. I wasn't trying to get proprietary information or trade secrets.
Right.
I'm so excited to meet someone, another Black woman who did it before me. But I was met with to put it
Resistance.
lightly, no, not resistance, a look of scorn.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, but the
I,
beauty of it is,
I love
it
it. Go
got picked
ahead.
up. Yeah, the beauty of it is, it got picked up.
I
It
love
got
it.
picked up, all
This
because
is
of God. Yeah.
a very deep story, guys. Can you relate? Because I see Trishana talking about, yes, such an amazing journey. The power of self-discovery. You inspire me. And she was giving you amens throughout. Grandma of 11 says, yes, queen, wear that crown. Absolutely. And Sandy W says she prayed through that thing. Awesome. Well, I hear so much in that story, my darling. And I start with it's a reflection of where we sometimes think our help is going to come from don't necessarily be the place. Y'all drop some likes. Don't necessarily be the place that the help is going to come from. Somebody with me. Somebody
Yes.
with me. Where you think the help should come from is oftentimes not the place. Do you know God will send strangers to bless you? God will send strangers. So I can attest to, even with my events, women I don't even know will show up, help me set up, help spread the word, drop an offering. I don't be asking for money. What? And I'm like, Lord, this is crazy. You thought it was going to be your family. You thought it was going to be your friends. Y'all stress me out with the friends thing, man. Who want to buy the product? It's probably not going to be your family and friends. Let's start right there. Let's just start right there. And I have a friend girl just starting out with teas. I was like, she going to get a rude awakening when she sees that everybody in the family not about to buy them teas, girl. We love tea. We might buy even one if you pressure us, but that's not who's going to necessarily come, to your, become your clientele. A lot of time we are focused on the wrong people. And you could have used the young lady's response to you as oh, this is not meant for me. Or, oh, heck no. I was going to say, you know how we do. And especially when it comes from a woman you admire. Y'all ever been rejected by somebody you admire? Where you're like, I'm looking up to you, bro. I'm looking up to you, sis. I thought we could collab. We could learn. And instead, you get a empty hand or a stop. Can I do it? The stop sign. Back up. Why do people that you think are the most likely to help you sometimes the ones not to help you? Why do you think that is? What lesson is in there? It's a crazy thing. It's a disappointing thing. It can throw you for a loop. Again, if you're not sure of yourself and confident in who you are, you could feel like, oh, is this a sign? Oh no, I should not be making this product. Or I think I had to go through her. Or maybe God says you ain't got to go through her. And if they only knew their no was actually a blessing, because it forced you to do the work now. Mm-hmm. Now it's up to me to get the product in the stores. It's up to me to find the information. It's up to me to make the contacts and to form the network and to meet with the businesses and to sell my stuff. It ain't up to her. And and you guys can comment in this chat, because sometimes I think there's a mindset sometimes, though, and I don't think you had it, that because someone else been doing something, there is a mindset sometimes that approaches that person as if the person's supposed to hand over the keys to the kingdom. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a difference. Mm-hmm. And when I particularly am approached by people that are like, hey, I see you did this conference, or I see you did this. Can you help me? My first question is, what specifically can I help you with? What is your specific question? You ain't about to have me playing your whole conferences. I know you think that's what we're doing here, but we're not. So it's not that mindset. Be careful of that mindset, because some people will be very turned off by that mindset. But from a genuine, like, I got my product, I've got my labeling, I've got my sourcing, I've got this. All I need to understand is, the Amazon part, or mm-hmm. the, how to get it to stores. You'll be surprised how funny people can be, and protective people can be, as if there's not enough money in the world. They're not going to show you. I had a friend try to open a daycare and couldn't get any information from any daycare owner. He had to peddle his child to act as if he was going to join the daycare just to get information on how to start a daycare. It's funny how people can be very protective of, what they feel is a limited resource. Y'all ever had that happen to you? Mm-hmm. Somebody feel like they the only ones, or I don't know what it is, a thought. She could have had a bunch of different experiences. So I'm not going to comment on her specifically, but there's a word there when it comes to the no from the place that you think it's supposed to come from. Sandy W in the chat, Gaston's World in the chat, Grandma 11. These are our angels. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just when you think it's time to walk away. Bonado, says God. I love it. Gaston's World. 100. Larry says, why not those supposed to be? Why not? I don't think so, Larry. In my experience, I used to own a title company. I used to own, who I thought, were going to be successful businesses, because I started with, family. Title companies do house closings, real estate. I did real estate before I did personal injury. And it shocked me that I'm talking about some of my good girlfriends didn't come to me for the closing. And I was like, but now you asking me what the paperwork means. And I was like, but you didn't come to me for this service. And I took it personal. Trust me, back then I took it personal. I was like, what? I thought you were my ace. I thought you were my girl. But they go to other people. I don't know what it is, Larry. Somebody might be able to know better than me, because some of the very people will, in your closest circle, oftentimes discount you. And they will more support a stranger. Y'all, am I lying? Does anyone else know this? And then you don't understand why. You feel that, their tea, their hair oil, their service, legal service, whatever, is more valuable than me who you know. But sometimes I don't know what it is, Larry. People who are the closest to you oftentimes discount you and think you're like, I don't know, not ready. I hollered at God, Nado. God said, Nado, you're not about to hold my daughter's door closed. Trishana says, we serve a God that sits high and looks low. Y'all think one person gonna stop you? One job, one so-called detour gonna stop you from the destination that is yours? Oh wow. Okay. I just wonder where the faith lies. Okay, come on, Trishana. Yes. Guess this world says, I fear God not because of his omnipotence to flood the earth, but because his power to change my life for the better faster than a blink. Oh my gosh. Faster than a blink of an eye. That's some real faith. Knowing that your circumstance can literally turn around without you doing, not in your control, not something that you plan. Your circumstance can be flipped on its head in a blink of an eye. I had done a study a long time ago, and I remember this pastor I had in Tallahassee, long time ago, did a sermon called "And Suddenly." Y'all, I don't even want to start that. Y'all gonna get me on the soapbox. There are so many times studying the Bible where he used, you see words "and suddenly," and how things dramatically changed on their heads before the people who had the most doubts, before what someone called enemies, but those who had the most doubts. Team Beauty Supply Stores, yes. Trishana in the chat. Grandma of 11, God's time is not our time. It can be instantaneous, or, this is the point, thank you for pointing this out, it can be arduous. Whoa, we don't like the second part. Somebody. All right. The Beyond Woman TV says, it is unfortunate, but it seems to be most prevalent in the Black community. I think you meant that sometimes we're not supporting our own. We go outside. I hear you. Welcome, Mr. Andrew Walker. Welcome to the chat. Hello. We're talking to the incomparable author and poet, Miss Trishforreal, sharing some of her experiences with detours in life, saying, don't discount the detours. We have gotten deep. She has been very open and very honest. Y'all hit that like button. We do it for you, but come on now. We want other people to see it. So please hit like, and most importantly, hit subscribe and share if you can. Grandma says, we have free will. We are sometimes our own stumbling block. Oh boy. Open a can of worms with that. Well, let me say I was. Okay, I hear you, sis. You're not the only one. You're not. If we're truthful, we can be our own stumbling blocks. Yes. Evelyn, I guess to my comment about people closest to us sometimes not being the best supporters. People are jealous. Ooh, they don't really, y'all feel that way? Are you the jealous people? No, just kidding. Not people. Who are people? But it's true. Some people don't want you to move faster or higher than them. That is true. Not for everyone, but that's an interesting point. Thank you for sharing. Trishana says, absolutely. It's just sad, says Trishana. Yes. Grace and mercy can take you to a whole different level. Gaston says, if you haven't already, y'all hit that like. Thank you for reminding everyone. I see so many of you guys watching. I need everybody in the building to hit the like button. Y'all know the algorithm. You know how it works. I want people to see this interview because I think it's going to help a lot of people. Welcome. Andrew said, where can I buy it? Do you still have this product out? Is it still in stores?
Yes, it's still in stores and it's online. You could order online at CERATRIXX wordnaturals.com.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me shit. I didn't even know this about you. I'm learning about you right now. Exciting. And welcome, Major Change Group, my sister. Thank you for being a sister in the YouTube verse. Asked her to be on my show. Y'all gonna get that money tips from her next month. Yes, Major Change Group. Big up her channel. Money Talk for Ladies coming up. Thank you, Major Change, for just being a wonderful sounding board. I can't wait till you come on. Thank you for stopping by. Grandma of 11, or they don't see our visions, and that's okay. It burns though when the people that you love, you tell them all. I've learned, guys, to stop sharing my vision. Hello, somebody. Y'all might think it's wrong. Some people might disagree, but I have learned, don't tell everybody everything. Y'all shut up. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Don't be shut up, but be quiet. Hold it, because they will dash water on your dream so fast. Well, how you gonna get into the beauty stores? Well, how it's gonna work? Well, do you think that's gonna do? Oh Lord, the naysayers come fast and furious, bro. So wondering if you are, on the right path. Sometimes talking to family and friends is not the right way. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. But yeah, be careful who you share that with. I've okay. Thank you, the Still Curtain, for stopping in. We do it during work time because we know sometimes you'll listen in while you're working. So we appreciate you and all your wisdom. Thank you. Trishana say, "Wow, Gaston, you gave me some goose pimples." That's a Jamaican way of saying goosebumps. Just so you know, the goose pimples. I see y'all. The chat. Get the likes up, man. Please. Y'all get on my nerve with that. With love. Get them likes up. I'm gonna drop your beauty. You're gonna text me after, love. Your beauty oil and how to get the beauty oil. Y'all get them likes up. We getting some good, insightful perspective, some great emotional, psychological, mental counseling and coaching just for you. I want this to help women. I want it to help men. I want it to uplift. I want it to enlighten. I want it to set free. That is the intention. So we want other people to see it. So y'all get them likes up and subscribe so that more people can see, the inspirational journey of this woman here, Miss Trishforreal. Major change in the building. Y'all Still Curtain saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" I love it. The family in the chat, most of us have met through TLA and beyond. So I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you found me. I appreciate y'all. Without you, the viewer, I am nobody. So thank you so much. Trishana Alexander, that just came over in my spirit too. I'm glad you felt that too. I love it. Enlightenment leads to more enlightenment. When people want is a reaction without a reaction, there is no satisfaction. Ooh, let me read that again. What people want is a reaction. Without a reaction, there's no satisfaction. I think we pull the plug on that satisfaction. I agree with that. Now that I understand the statement, that if you don't give them like, "Oh my gosh, you've devastated me with your no," or "Oh my gosh, you've devastated me with your whatever," you just keep it moving. They be like, "Oh, what's wrong with her?" or "What's wrong with him?" Yeah. I keep it moving. That keep it moving attitude confuse people. I agree with you. Still Curtin saying, "What's up?" Y'all getting y'all hellos. Fellow Jamaican Andrew is like, "We liquor. But we are Talawa." That's a Jamaican saying. He'll break it down for you. Shout out to all my South Florida folks. Milwaukee in the building. Where else was in the building? Atlanta was in the building. Orlando in the building. All over these United States and beyond. Y'all welcome to the Suzette Speaks Show, where we have deep, enlightening conversations, which hopefully will change, impact, and empower, particularly our women, but all are welcome here. I'm so grateful for you to be here. Major change, letting Andrew know that was a great point. Let's get into some of your job search period. I know we talked about it briefly yesterday. Miss Trishforreal, author, poet, book of poetry coming out at the end of this month. We briefly spoke yesterday, just trying to get our ideas together, and we were talking about like job search, because I think a lot of people are there right now, changing careers. A lot of people, like we said, the great resignation is upon us. Nobody wants to do jobs. Oh, I forgot. Chicago, I hear you. Thank you. We are in a season where people are reevaluating, realigning, reassessing, and sometimes in a whole new direction. They don't even know where to go. So some by necessity, some by choice. So I want you to share your particular story, Trishforreal, when it came to a 3-year or longer period of time where you was hearing that rejection or the detours was coming left and right. Tell us about it, please.
Okay, so I'll start by saying this. I had to learn that just because I was told no, it shouldn't in any way diminish my value, how I felt about myself. And I think it was my dad who told me that sometimes the protection is in the rejection. So after being laid off, I reevaluated my life, reassessed, discovered what I wanted to do or what I wanted to expand on. In doing that, I said, all right, I'm gonna align to one particular industry. So, or if you will, one particular field. So I went back to school, I got certified, and then I'm on this path to finding a job in that field. If I had allowed it would have ruined me. But one day I sat back and I said, and I think I shared it with one of my closest friends, I said, I'm beginning to feel the pangs, maybe you could compare it to the birth pangs of rejection. It one particular incident made me feel like I lost somebody I was with. That's the kind of emotion that it brought on. And I had to remind myself that I was still of value. I actually listed what I was good at just to get over that hump. They brought me to a place where it's like they put the job in my hand and then just pull it away with actually a silly excuse. So how I got over that, I realigned to my purpose, I realigned to my original plan. I reminded myself what I was good at. And it's always good to talk it out with someone who is close to you. Get it off. I often tell people this: feel the emotions. Don't discount the emotions. Feel the emotions. And whatever you do, after you've done all you can, you give it to God. And that's the honest truth about how I got over that situation. The job was placed in my hand only to have it pulled. But in the 3 years, I was counting down the no's just as a joke. I had it on paper. I'm like, all right, these are the no's. But another way I got over that is I gave myself the final yes. And that final yes was saying yes to my natural gifts and talents, put in that first, because at the end of the day, that is what I was brought here to do, to fulfill God's purpose for my life. So a job rejection, I wasn't going to let it derail me. In the past, it would have, but I got to a place where I reminded myself who I was, what I wanted to do going forward. Um, and that's how I got over that hump.
Sorry, I was just listening. Sometimes I get carried away in my own. I'm listening to you like, yes, that's very good. Y'all welcome. For those just joining, welcome. This is the Suzette Speaks show. I'm here with author and poet Miss Trishforreal. We're discussing how not to discount the what am I talking about? The discord, the detours of
Yes.
our life. We've been talking for a while. I had to get some water. I was like, okay, wait. But y'all, I'm enjoying the convo. I hope you are too. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as we are being seen throughout the United States. Oh, y'all making me feel so good. And I'm glad that the message is going beyond, where I am. Thanks to you guys and joining the community here on the Suzette Speak show. So as you were saying, and again, I wanted you particularly to talk about the job search portion of the detour, because 3 years is a long time. I think a lot of people are experiencing that now. I think some of us have had less pain with that because of some of the stimulus package and some of the things the Biden administration has done. But before, when you had to be looking, we was just looking. There was no, during like the Great Recession, 2000, what, 7, 8, 9, some of 10. There was none of that backup money. Y'all are lucky now that the administration, that the president was like, okay, hold this $600 per child, hold this right here. And so we've had it very good. We've had a little bit of a cushion if you have children. But in that place where you are on your own, you need income, you're looking to, find that right fit, and that no after no after no. And you're saying that you kept a list, kind of like as a joke, but it can really be devastating, y'all. It can be devastating to mind and spirit if we're not careful. So, how did you learn to separate the no from who you were as in your value as a person? How were you able to, keep going after like the first year of like, okay, really, this is crazy. I got my master. Did you have your master's at that point, or
Yeah,
were you
for
all
years.
of that
Yeah.
and all of that, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what's happening? And, you have a bad job market or a challenging job market or whatever. But how does one separate herself from the no so that she does not lose herself or feel a sense of, loss of value when it comes to a rejection?
I think essentially it boils down to and who you are, what values you have, what particular skill set you bring to any job you may go to. So, an awareness of just who you are. And if you're a person of faith like I am, I just realign to what I know God's plan and purpose was for me. And another thing, sometimes we stay to ourselves, we're so closed off from others. It's good to talk it out to someone. So, I had at least two people I shared my job search journey with. We talked, they helped me to reassess. And what I did, someone advised me to list all my skills, and then just see what other areas I could transfer those skills to make money in the interim. And that's how I did. So there was pain with rejection at the beginning, and then I talked it out. I'm a person who journals, so I journal. I write down my thoughts so it doesn't master me. And then I have two good girlfriends that we talk things through. They tell me when I'm trying to have a pity party, when they're not willing to hear it, and push me in a direction of realizing a higher self value than what those people think. And I've learned not to take a job rejection personally. Um, it was some sermon I listened to on YouTube where the guy was saying too that if you're a person of faith and you believe that you're on assignment by God, maybe that just wasn't your assignment. So I started looking at it as, all right, God plants you in soils that are gonna be beneficial to your growth. So that just wasn't my soil.
Good word. Good word. Maybe that just wasn't your soil, and leaving it at that.
Yeah.
Not overanalyzing it. I have been, trust me, I still am occasionally an overthinker, an over processor. Oh my gosh, I am so critical of my own self and thinking there was something I said, something I did, something on the resume, something like this. I've toned it down, guys, but I used to be very self-critical in an unhealthy way, in a way that was literally, I don't know, just having me harbor almost like a fear from trying because I was afraid of the mistake I would inevitably make. And it wasn't that at all. So if you're experiencing that, I know we have different stages of life watching and people who are growing through this, or some have grown past this, but it's important to recognize that you're not alone if you're feeling like a no is saying something necessarily about you. But what I love what Trishforreal has just shared, sometimes you do have to have the committee. That's what I call my girls, my committee. So some people, my brother's like, you too old for a committee. I'm like, no, I'm not. I occasionally, and I know who strategically on my committee to tell and ask for their insight depending on what I'm dealing with. So everybody doesn't necessarily get like the same type of questioning or sharing of an experience, but sometimes you do double check. Just double check. It's not you. So in case that resume does need to be tweaked, or in case you can present your skills a different kind of way, maybe there is something you can, switch up. It's not necessarily your quote fault, but here, you dress to the nines. People are afraid you're going to take their job. Why don't you come in more casual for the interview? I've had to do that when I was working for other people. It was very big. I was like, these people, I'm like putting on my best face, best foot forward, and I realized they were like, nah, girl, they scared of you.
You know, Suzette, let me interject by saying this. I've also learned too that sometimes you don't just apply for a job just to align. Does the job do the core values of the organization align with your personal beliefs and your goals? So I've learned in the 3-year job search not to just apply, just press a button. I'm not a button pusher, particularly if their job culture and their core values don't align with my own personal values.
That's a word. That's a word. Checking in with the chat. I'm going to let her go shortly. What's up? K24 Nick in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sandy says, I'm finding these new channels. Thank you, chat. Yes, some great people are here. Check out their channels. Subscribe. I'm grateful for the network that's developing here. So I'm appreciative. The Beyond Woman TV says, oh, word. Y'all got plenty of words. Hit that like button. How about that? How about you let other people find this special episode I'm doing right now? This is the Suzette Speaks conversation with author and poet, Miss Trishforreal. And we're talking about not discounting the detours of life. Grandma says, yes, my mom's friend told me to look back at patterns in my life where I felt fulfilled. And it wasn't for money. It was in serving others. I am a nurturer. Oh my gosh, when we find out things about ourselves and look back and actually look at these patterns, we can find the job alignment. We can find the man or the other significant other person alignment that we're supposed to have because we understand our role and our tendencies, our preferences, right? How we think, how we operate. People are different. So once you, that is such a like it says, a kind of critical thing, and it's simple at the same time. Looking back at the patterns, when did you have the most joy? You know what I have the most joy doing? This. I was like, and I could get paid. I would talk to people, have conversations for a living just because I like to do it. I learn so much from you. We learn from each other. This is joy to me just because. So I hear you. I hear you. Look back. See, what did I like about that job? Was that job a good fit? Am I just pressing, as you said, buttons? Or am I seeing myself in alignment with what this job does for others? Impact it has globally, whatever. So see what it is that gave you the joy, what mattered the most to you. And maybe we gotta just stop sending all out, resumes everywhere, and figure out, oh, okay, maybe that's not as you say, Trishforreal, the soil. Y'all wasting time. I got a couple no's, and I'm like, God, this must be a season of no. Or as you said, is the rejection protection? Hello, somebody. Oh boy, can we look at the no as the blessing? Can we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, some people need a realignment of perspective. Can we look at the no as the blessing? Y'all tell me. Okay, all right. Keep in mind the still. I thought you had to go to work. You told me. I don't mind you staying. I love it. But I was like, you be careful. Make sure you do what you got to do. Keep in mind, detours can be viewed as alternate paths to success you've envisioned. However, you must do the work. Very good. Remain motivated and consistent. You can do it. In my Rob Schneider voice, I hear you. Listen, the detours are real. Y'all got to be okay with the detours. Y'all got to be okay with the ocean, the change of life, the ebbs and the flows, the highs and the lows. That's the only thing that's constant. And being resilient enough to see, okay, whoa, this is a season of change. Oh boy, uncomfortable. But I got to roll with these punches, and I got to fight through it. I got to see myself getting to the other side of it, knowing that, as he's saying, the destination is going to be just an alternative path to reaching that. So it might be like she said earlier, I think it was grandma was saying it was either a quick blink or an arduous. Different paths exist, but you're still on a good path. And it's sometimes hard. It's sometimes frustrating. Sometimes we get impatient. Sometimes we like, really, God, is that you? Who's here feeling like this? All right. Yes, I agree. Sandy W says, Grandma of 11, wonderful advice from your friend. Absolutely. Still curtain. Yes. Doors open, but we must move our feet. Oh, y'all. Ooh, we. What they say? Faith without what? Faith without what? The works, guys. You mad, you sad, you depressed, but you're not putting yourself, out there. You're not moving your hand. You're not trying something. It's a growth process. So the no often leads to growth. I see you. Y'all going back and forth in the chat. I love it. It changed my perspective. Whew. And my life. I hear you. Good. I love it. Thanks. Oh my gosh, Trish, they loving you, girl. Absolutely. You got work to do. I hear you. Still Curtin says, okay, I'm out now. We don't mind. Take us in the car with you, okay? Business partners are wanting that attention. Okay. I didn't mean to call you out, but it was making me a chuckle. I was like, wait, bye for real now. Okay, bye. Thank you for stopping in. Yes, telling him have a good day. Ooh, Andrew, you've been hitting us with some quotes. All right. Hesitation plus contemplation equals frustration. Oh boy. Those one-liners, you gotta take the time. All right, digest it with me, guys. Hesitating plus contemplation, that overthink, equals to frustration. That's a word by itself. Mr. Walker, please and thank you. That's a word by itself. I don't know who that's for, but y'all read it again. Hesitation, what are you hesitating in? Plus contemplation, what are you overthinking? Definitely leads to frustration. We got to break those patterns. My. That's a good word. All right, still Curtin said he gone, but he's still okay. Still, I ain't mad. Please. Grandma saying, Andrew, what? Yes. That's the super chat. I ain't got no super chat, but that's the super chat for today. I can pretend, Mr. Walker. You're my super chatter. I'm practicing for the day. Thank you. Miss Trishforreal, you have anything else you want to share in terms of ideas, experiences, thoughts that you want to leave with this audience so that they are not discounting the detours, not looking at life from a perspective of pain and disappointment, or defining oneself by these detours? Are there any other examples or anything else? Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate you coming and spending time. Hey, Jill. Hi. We talked on Instagram. How are you? Glad to see you over here, darling. Nice to see you. Grandma saying, like Nike, just do it. Yes, Broham, throw me back. Throw me back to the Broham. I love it. I love it. I love it. So happy to see you guys. We got Trishforreal, author, poet, and what's you say, hair oil founder, company founder. Okay, let me know that info. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Excuse me. I'll also put it in the description so that people can know where to find both your book and your hair oil. So I'm all about supporting real women who are just a good example of fortitude, resilience, grace. It is not an easy road, this thing called life, guys, and we got a lot to learn together. So knowing that we got so much more to share. I got a great lineup for y'all coming up in November. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But Trish, I'm gonna give you the last word. Anything else? She's talking about, yes, we did. Enjoy your DMs. Me too, girl. Thank you. What would you want to say before we head out in a little here? Thank you. Yes, lifelong learning. That's what we're all about. My sister, Queen of the South. Trish, anything else you want to leave with our viewers?
Yes. So my final words are: I'm reminded of the story of the prophet Elijah, how God seemingly dried up everything around him, and he was then fed by ravens, or a raven. I came to a point in my walk over the past couple of years where I just finally accepted that sometimes God will place you in deserted places, in valleys, if you will, because He has a purpose for it. Oftentimes, we want the promises of God, but then we don't want the process, and the process always precedes the promises. The process is sometimes embarrassing. It's a lonely walk. You'll have sometimes a few friends, but even the process, the dry places, the wilderness places of your lives, God is in the midst. He's given you strength for the journey, and He will send you help sometimes through unlikely sources, like God provided a raven to feed, the prophet Elijah. So what I've learned is come safely enter into your time of rest. I did. Sometimes you want to be so joined to the status quo that you are neglecting self, you are neglecting your God-given gifts and talents that He needs you to use to effect change in the world. And sometimes that becomes obscured from staying in places that don't see your values. And if we are to be truly honest, sometimes the job is just a job, like my friend calls it, and I've taken on that same thought. Jump out of bed. Sometimes we're jumping out of bed to be devalued. So, like I said earlier, don't overlook the hard places of your life, the tight places of your life. Oftentimes, in the tight places where you come to you find out who you truly are. You come to accepting God's plans and purposes for your life. I have. So my final words are: don't discount the detours. The detours are meant to prepare you. It's part of your process for the promises of God that you're waiting on. And that's my final word.
I'm gonna just let that marinate for a second. We want the promise without the process. That's a word. Oh, y'all hit that like. I'm not even. I'm just digesting it for myself. Hmm. And I have so many people with wisdom in the chat. I gotta read the chat too. I would have ended on that, but I gotta read some of the chat too. That's a word. The dry places are still working for our good. teaching us something. Y'all better look up and try to say, God, what are you teaching me right now? Or you gonna make that cycle repeat itself. Some of us are feeling like we're in a dry place and we are not looking for the lesson and not acknowledging this is a part of the process. Oh, help us, God. Oh, wow. That's a good word. Andrew says, I'm going to finish. Any more comments y'all want us to read in the chat? Let's go now, because I done told this lady I was going to do an hour and we over by a lot. Andrew says, being idle is not the key. Okay. I have lost a job twice. Once I lost a job to a manager, and his manager was fearing that I was going to take their. Y'all ever been in a hating office? Yes, I have been there. They scared of you and you just trying to come to work. I don't want your job. They said it this at the union office. Oh, I bet. And there's nothing like in the United States of America, people who are protective of their workplace and their job. Oh, they can make it hell for you. And that can be, cue to music. How about I'm not going to come up here to be abused? How about that? As you say, jump out of bed to come and be abused. How about, thank you for this, says Grandma 11. I needed this. Could have used this in my 40s. But what's 20 years, huh? Nothing at all. We come to different realizations at different times, right when we need them. Different stages and places. This is for you too, love. All of us. Because some of it we know, and it's sometimes good just to be reminded. And then others, we are actually stepping into something very new concept, new thinking, new perspective. That's what I want. So I'm grateful for that, sis. You were right at home. Hey, Simon Hectic says, your TLA appearance was cool. I know my guests don't know what I've been talking about with a TLA. She's like, what did she talk about? There's another guy on YouTube called The Lead Attorney. I can't just call him another guy. A phenomenal YouTuber called The Lead Attorney. That I don't know if I was a setup. Y'all think it was a setup yesterday? I don't know. I was like, was I set up a little bit? But he had a show. I'm gonna let you watch. I'm gonna send you the link, Trishforreal. But I ended up being like the main guest, unprepared. I didn't know where we were going with the conversation. And had my nerves. Y'all was nervous. I was like, I hope he doesn't embarrass me or like put me out there. But he was talking about women, particularly Black women, being single, how we date or don't date with purpose and intention, and all of that there. And of course, there I was on the hot seat, trying to just represent myself. I kept saying, I do not represent all women in the chat. I do not represent Black women across this country. Please don't put that pressure on me. And it was a very eye-opening experience. I survived. For those of you who have commented about it, I just wrote hashtag I'm a survivor. He surprised me a little bit, actually, with the discussion, but I'll leave it there. But it was great because indirectly I got so much, exposure. Many of you I'm meeting because of that. So it was way, Trish, out of my comfort zone. I don't like to talk relationships. I don't like people in my business like that. And it wasn't for the faint of heart. The chat was not for the faint of heart. I haven't even gone back and read all the chat. I was like, do I really want to read all the chat? Because I'm a confident person and I don't want nobody messing with that as I move through this life. But yeah, it was an experience. I survived. Let's put it like that. I'll send it to you. Gaston's World, great show. I was glad I was able to participate. Guys, it's for you. Thank you for participating. Queen of the South said, thank you for being the positivity, bringing the positivity, ladies. Thank you, Miss Queen of the South, for adding your comments and your perspectives. Hey, Grandma, giving Trish the A, love, love, love. Love you too. Thank you for being a part of today's combo. You need the right person to have your back. Andrew, with some wisdom there. You need the right person. Select your committees very, very carefully, y'all. Committees can change. Just because it's been your BFF for years, don't mean right now in this season she gonna have you, where you need to be with that right word, or with that right spirit towards you. I've realized that my committee has had to change. Well, my spirit telling me, oh no. Do I sense jealousy? Do I sense, just maybe mediocrity? Maybe that's not the person to press that gas with you and push you, but it's okay. You still love them. The love is not lost, but yes, you just need the right person to have your back. Absolutely. I see you, Jill. Jill wasn't giving me the high fives like the yes, giving Trish the high fives like the yes. You guys are fantastic. I got so much in the chat to read. I want to let her go, guys. But the chat's been lighting up. The chat. We need the chat. I'm gonna keep just clicking. All right, let's get it. All right, Queen of the South, the Valley of the Dry Bones. Yes, there is always a process. That can let that resonate. Grandma, LOL, Fox River Valley, because my God knew I needed the signs. Laugh out loud. Beanie, I hope I'm saying it right. TV, welcome. I embraced my darkest hours as they gave me divine wisdom. I hear you, sis. Thank you. Major Change Group says, Trish, thanks so much. Yeah, y'all show her some love. Drop a like, drop a comment, heart, flame, something. Let us know that you're watching. The Beyond Woman TV says, embrace the tight places and grow from them. Beautiful. Love it. Grandma comes back. Trish is doing God's work here, people. Hello. That's what we want. That's what we want. She's in her zone. I know it. That's true, Suzette. Those dry places are the life lessons. Y'all want it to be good all the time, huh? Sunshine and rainbows all the time, huh? That's what y'all want. Thank you. Great show with TLA. Thank you, King Griff. Like I said, we might have to do a little reaction to that. I was still kind of like digesting. My head was still spinning after the show. No, I did not run away. My internet cut. It just dropped. I'm like, those people probably think I left because I felt some type of way. I didn't. My internet did go down. I was like, is God talk about God message? I was like, okay, is God trying to tell me something? I need to get off this chat right here. TLA had to go anyway. So that was funny. Yes, a little setup. Y'all come on and like and subscribe. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. Like, so more people can see the video. Yes, Larry Walker says. Jill says, I was uncomfortable for you. The chat wasn't, oh, girl. Only TLA. Oh, that's all I can say. I don't ever talk about relationships and dating. I think there's just so much, women can fall into that trap. Come on. Am I going to tell you why everybody's single? Come on. It's so easy to beat up on Black women. I was like, are we going to do that here? I'm over that. That's that, that Tyler Perry show, Black woman. That's not who I'm, having my circle, my friends. We're not like that. So I don't know. You pick the worst women and then you make all of us look bad. And then like we're indicted by all of the people. I felt like I was being cross-examined. He's an attorney as well, Trish.
Okay.
You didn't answer the question. The question was, I was like, hold up now. I'm going to give my answer to it. It was fun though. It was fun. Thank you. I appreciate the love, y'all. That was an experience. I wouldn't have traded it, but it was definitely a little bit much. All right. I've been listening in from an appointment. Hey, blind guy, his wife, their life. What's some of my originals? But you were great on TLA. Thank you. Thank you. Like I say, I survived. I don't know how I felt afterwards. I had to like go outside and take a walk. I was like, whoa, that was pretty intense. Okay. You, my dear, are a high value woman. They were not ready. Okay. I was so irritated. Like there's a number. Yes. All of this kind of crazy questions. Like tell us a number that you should, number of dates you should go on before you sleep. But I can't say that. Yeah. What y'all talking about? Thank you. There was so much more after. You ever had those conversations where afterwards you was like, I should have said this. I should have, like, if I was prepared, I felt like there was so many more ways I could have gone in the discussion. But because it was just like, hey, y'all come invite Suzette Speaks Up. I was like, yeah, okay. Not getting okie dokes again. You got to warn me for those. Few more comments before we sign off, y'all. Great job, Trish. I got to back up. Just make sure I don't leave it. You guys make the show. I want to show you love. Thanks for spending time. The chat is full. Thank God you didn't go back and read the chat. Oh, Lord, guys, please, Lord. I'm not going to go back and read the chat now for real now. Yeah, I hear you. Don't read that chat. Just like I told you, not to answer your age. Okay, thank you. My first time. Great show. Thank you. Still Curtin says, still hanging out. I had to chime in. You were fine, Suzette. You did survive the hot seat. Oh, yeah. Stay out of the car. Oh, Lord. I bet. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Sandy Debbie, don't revisit the doo-doo wife. Y'all so funny. Thanks for the flowers, Beanie. Thank you, Trishforreal. You are so appreciated. Yes, yes, she is. Thanks for spending time with us, Trish, for real, for real. Some people are seasonal. If you take them with you into the wrong season with you, they will not survive, and you may not either. Oh boy,
Wow.
good word. Speak on it with Annie. You speaking my language, darling. Some people are seasonal. If you take them into the wrong season with you, they will not survive, and you may not either. Oh, y'all dropping nuggets in these comments. Jill says, "Great job, Trish." Thank you, Jill. A pleasure. Y'all hit that like. Y'all enjoying this? Grandma 11 was drinking water. I hear you. Christopher says, "Suze was lovely. What lovely, unique earrings." Oh, thank you. Dang, I sound like the big bad wolf. No, you don't. Oh, you hit me up on Instagram too. I think it's the right gentleman. I think so. You guys are so funny. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Chris. That chat was horrible. Oh, guys, I'm not going back to the chat. Oh, guys, I'm not going back to the chat. I'm not going back. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Y'all still asking questions about yesterday. This is about a new show. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Keep it moving, Chris. Move along, Chris. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Glad you enjoyed today's show. Okay, Suzette, I'm officially leaving. Thank you. We about to leave too, y'all. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Y'all give it up for Miss Trishforreal, author, poet, extraordinary woman, business owner. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. I'm from the south side of heaven. I hear you. I didn't get the last part there until the inquiry is making me call someone. Okay, no problem. We love Trish and we want to keep her mainly for the hair. Yeah. Sending hearts from your girl, Trishana. Y'all are amazing. Thank you to my amazing guests. We need more conversations like this. Don't worry, I got some cooked up for y'all. So if you enjoyed today, hit that like. They're saying thanks. I'm gonna have to go because y'all keep dropping more and more comments. But I ain't mad. Keep dropping them. Keep dropping them. Keep dropping. Attorneys are gluttons for punishment. Are we? Are we really though? Okay. I'm not gonna leave that alone. Loved this show, says Louise. And love that you on TLA. Oh, thank you. Appreciate the support, sis. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day. All right. Peace and blessings. Lots of love. Y'all will catch the next broadcast. It will be Saturday at 12 noon. Suzette Speak shows are dedicated to women's empowerment. Let's Talk Justice shows are dedicated to law, politics, and legal trends for everyday people. So I'll be speaking with a young lady who's the president of the Urban League Young Professionals. On Saturday, she's going to talk a little bit about professionals being empowered in the community. And I got a good show Sunday. No fear. Sunday. I'm not even going to give y'all that. Y'all going to have to look and watch Sunday, I think, at 3. So we got a good lineup coming in the next few weeks. Appreciate y'all. Have a great evening, you too. I sub to a few channels. Yes, sub to each other. Thank you. Sorry, Pocket Post. Oh, no problem. Thank you. Black Tinkerbell. Thank you. No, I just appreciate you guys being here. We got a good lineup, guys. I have the women rolling in. People who got something to say, great energy, and just a good word. So we're here for you, and thanks for being here for me and for us. All right. Have a good one. I'm going to go. For real, for real. Love you guys. Have a great one.